everyone. So today we're going to be making some bread. So a few things that you're going to need. So 2 cups of warm water. That should be about 110 degrees. 1 teaspoon here, a half a teaspoon, and a 1/4 cup. A bowl, some salt, butter, all-purpose flour, and some honey. I've got some local organic honey that I harvest, and then some active dry yeast. So first step, we're gonna put 2 cups of water into this bowl. There's a little bit of yeast in here. I accidentally spilled some in there, so no worries, not a big deal. So let me get that water and let's check that temp. 1 second. So I just measured my water temperature, and that seems to be about 113. So by the time I pour the honey and everything, it's gonna be good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get 2 cups of water, warm water. We're gonna pour it in this bowl. And then we're gonna get a 1/4 cup of honey. And I'm going to, okay, so I have my 2 cups of warm water in here. I've got my honey. I'm gonna mix that just a little bit to dissolve some of that honey. That should be good. So now I'm gonna add the rest of my active dry yeast. This is by Fleischmann's, I believe, is what it's called. All right, so that's all in there. And give that a quick little mixy mix. Whew, that is a strong smell. So I'm gonna cover this and let this sit for 10 minutes and we'll be back. All right, so our little mixture has bloomed now. So we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of melted butter. Where are my little, oh, here they are. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. There we go. We're gonna mix that up really well. And then we're gonna add in about 5 cups of all-purpose flour. So because this is already, I'm gonna mix it in here. I'm just gonna put this in here so that it is ready to go. Give me 2 seconds while I get cleaned up. So I'm gonna get 5 cups. And again, this is gonna make 2 loaves, so that's why I'm making so much more. So give me 2 seconds while I get 5 of these cups in here. 1 second. I've got my 5 cups of flour. I have made a giant mess here, which is fine. So I'm gonna lift this up and I'm gonna put this on about 2 for right now. We're gonna need this for about 5 to 7 minutes. And then we're gonna add more flour as we need to. So mixy. I'll come back when this is a little bit more mixed. So I did add a little bit extra flour to this just to kind of get it to unstick from the sides. Now it's totally mixed. I'm going to put a little saran wrap on top of this, put this in my oven, and I'm gonna put it in there for about 2 hours. So we'll check back in a couple hours. See you later. All right, so it has spent 2 whole hours in the oven, and look at this proof. It's amazing. All right, so let me get some flour to put some flour on this, and then I am going to take this out and butter my little loaf pan and put it in there for 30 more minutes. I'll be back. So I put it in my little buttered dish here. I'm gonna cover this up. I'm gonna put it back in my oven that is not on. It's just literally just my oven. And then I'm going to make the rest of this actually into rolls because I want some rolls on top of my little bread. So I'll see you back in 30 minutes. Okay, so I proofed everything in the oven for the extra 30 minutes after I put my little loaf pan in there. And then I kind of made this into a focaccia style bread. I'm gonna see if this pans out. I don't really know, never tried this, so we're gonna find out together. But I put a little bit of avocado oil and then some Italian seasoning and some garlic powder. And then this just has a nice little glaze of butter with some rosemary on top. So I'm gonna put these in the oven for about 15-20 minutes. Come back and check on them and see how they're doing. So we'll come back.